In the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, Ray and Dorothy Warner raised 10 kids in a small 3-bedroom house without plumbing and heated with firewood. Everyone in Olive Falls knew where Hollywood and Vine was. The Warners were made fun of, picked on, and bullied. But yet they were a hardworking, honest, and a loving family. This story is about the Warners.
And your folks' names were?
Dorothy, Maud, Warner, and Ray Eugene.
Okay, we'll start with you, Wanda. Can you tell me what year you were born?
46.
And then Linda?
1947. 1945.
Okay, so then you're the oldest of you 3 girls.
Yes.
And how many kids were in your family?
8 altogether, but I had a stepbrother and a stepsister, so there was 10 of us.
Okay, and who were they?
Martin and Martha Reed. Holland, I mean.
Okay. Can you give me the names of those?
Okay, Dorothy, Jolene, Wanda, Linda, Tommy, Marion, Iris, and Patty.
Now, you guys grew up and your dad worked at Chuck's junkyard.
Yes, yeah. 37 years.
37 years worth.
Mm-hmm.
And you had 10 of you, and your mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yes, she was.
And Dad worked hard for his money, but it wasn't a high-paying job.
No.
So what was it like to have 10 family members and with a low income, hard money earned, but not a lot of it?
You know what? Very, very hard. But you know what? I enjoyed it.
Okay. And what was your house like?
Well, we had a kitchen, dining room, a bedroom in the first part, and then we had a little hallway, then we had a living room and 2 bedrooms out off the living room.
And so then all you girls slept in the same room?
Yep. We had a full-size bed here and a full-size bed here, and a set of bunk beds, and that's how 2 in a bed.
And now you told me earlier that your house, you heated on wood.
Yeah.
What was that like, heating on wood? I mean, who chopped it and that?
We did. We saw it on Sundays. And we take a wedge and a sledgehammer, and we go out and pound the wedge in there and bring it. Dad learned us how to do it. Dad taught us how to do it.
And how big a job was that?
No, I didn't. I enjoyed it. It didn't bother me. We had to keep warm.
The front end of it.
What was that?
I covered the front end of it.
You're talking about the buzzsaw. He's talking about the wood.
So then you would cut it with a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a part-time job then.
Yeah. Yep.
And do you remember how much you had to cut to make it through the winter?
No, but we cut a lot on Sunday, and then Dad backed the pickup down there, and we corded in the pickup. And then one of them would drive it up to my brother's bedroom had a basement in it, and we take the wood and cord it down there.
And you would store it down underneath.
Store it down there, so when it snowed, we had dry.
And then you said you didn't have running water in the house.
Nope.
No. Where would you get your water?
From the National Byproduct in Iowa Falls.
And how would you get it?
2 cans and a wagon. We'd put them in a wagon and go down and get it. One pulled the wagon and the other one held on to the cans.
And how often would you have to do that?
Oh, sometimes
2 or 3 times a week, wasn't it, Linda?
Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Yeah.
Well, what about bathing then?
We used that water too, and Mom had a cook stove with a reservoir on it. It was hot, and we cooled it down with the cold water.
And every time you wanted to take a bath, that was the...
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have a bathtub?
Yeah. We had one of them round enamel, or aluminum ones.
And then you would take your bath on Saturday night and get ready to go out.
No, bet you. We'd bathe every night.
Okay.
We bathed 3 kids once, dump the water out, we bathe the other 3, throw the water out, and then we bathe 3 more.
Didn't have running water. What was your bathroom facilities like? You had outside bathrooms?
No. Yeah, we had an outside toilet. Yeah.
Okay.
Outside outhouse.
And what about in those cold winter nights?
We had a pail in the house, we went in and then we dumped it in the
What do you remember most about growing up? And we'll go one at a time and I'll get a close-up of you. Okay, Joe?
being ornery.
Being ornery? What do you mean by being ornery?
Just ask my mom and dad and then I'd get it at the end.
Oh, so your folks were disciplinarians?
Yes, they were.
What was one time that you remember that they gave you a good old switching?
When I run away. Father come up as far as Priestess driveway and Tommy drove the car back, and every step I took I got a spanking with a genuine board.
Oh. Well, how about you there, Linda?
Well, I was a ringleader of all. I would get the kids to do something, then I was at the end of doing it, and then everybody'd stand and laugh at me for it.
So did your dad ever give you a tanning?
No, he never did. Mama did. Well, I really don't have any other ones to tell. But, oh, I know one I'll tell. Tommy and I was in the truck, and we weren't supposed to move them. And I got in the car and backed it up and hit something. And Dad had got mad at me for it. I told him it was in my way. I had to move it.
All right. What about school?
Oh, I had fun at school.
Okay.
The teacher asked, we had to go like this and we wanted to go 1, and we had to go like that 2. And I forgot and I went like this. She wouldn't let me go, so I pulled my pants down and peed on the floor.
And how old were you then?
I was out of high school, probably 14.
Okay. How much schooling did you have there, Joe?
8th grade.
8th grade. And what was school like for you?
Oh, good at times and bad.
Did you have a subject that you liked to do more than others?
No, I just wanted to go to 8th grade and get out. Then I could run.
I did. I had subject chasing boys.
Oh, you did. Were you pretty good at chasing boys?
Yeah, you bet.
Now, how far did your brothers and sisters go to school?
Iris graduated. Marion graduated. Tommy quituated. And I quituated.
Patty didn't go to school.
Patty didn't go to school. She got pregnant and left Iowa Falls.
And then your dad worked for Chuck's Junkyard,
Yeah.
Yes.
and your mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yep.
She had all she could do to keep her going with us.
And your dad worked hard. I know your dad worked hard because that was hard work.
Yeah.
Pay wasn't the best. So what was it like, let's say, being poor? And what do you feel that you missed out on?
A lot of things.
Okay, like what?
We couldn't go to the movies when other kids could go. We couldn't go roller skating because Mom and Dad didn't have the money.
And how do you feel about that?
Didn't bother me the least.
Okay. And what would you do when the other kids would go in these places?
It didn't bother me. Sometimes Dad would take us out and let us watch them.
Okay.
But like I said, Mom and Dad didn't have the money, and we didn't beg about it because when they told us no, they meant no.
Now, when you said you went swimming in the river,
Yeah.
tell me about the swimsuit you wore.
We swam in the old stone quarry,
There was Weaver Stone or Weldon Stone Quarry.
right
Yeah.
across the road from us, yeah.
Okay.
So we'd get over there, and we would wear our suits over there, but the minute we got over there, they'd come down off.
Your suits would come off.
You bet you.
Well, just you girls swam.
Yes.
Okay. Was that fun, skinny dipping?
Oh, that was a ball.
Linda, did you go skinny dipping?
Many times.
How about you, Wanda?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what would you say now if your kids wanted to go skinny dipping?
They could go.
Okay.
Don't bother me. I told them go ahead and do it. I did. No, it don't bother me. It wouldn't bother me.
What about dating? And now we're talking the 60s, when you girls are late 50s, early 60s. And when you started a date, how old were you?
Oh, about 15, 16.
Okay. What was that like? Did your folks ever check your boyfriends out?
No, but they always come to the house and pick us up, because if they didn't, we couldn't go.
Okay.
They had to come to the door and get us and bring us back to the door.
Okay. And like, what would you do on your dates?
Oh, go to the drive-in or just ride around or
Okay.
go swimming, go out to Closter's Ford and go swimming.
Well, you wouldn't have your swimsuits with you.
How do you know I didn't have
We
my
could go in our
swimsuit?
clothes. We could go naked. Got two.
2 children. And who are they?
Clinton and Betsy.
Kalinda Ball and Betsy.
Straight back.
Okay, and you have grandchildren.
4.
4 of them. What would you, if you were going to give them a piece of advice, what would you give them?
Just tell them to behave themselves, not to go and get in trouble.
How old were you when you got married then, the first?
Me?
Yes.
18.
18. How about you, Linda?
Oh, I got married when I was about 20.
About the cold winter nights. Did your house ever get cold? Or did your dad always take care of the...
Dad always took care of the stoves.
So it sounds like your dad in the winter times a lot would work all day and then come home and stoke it up the fires at night, and your mom did the cleaning.
Yeah.
And
And at night before we go to bed, one of us would go out and get a great big chunk like this, and he'd bank it, and it'd burn all night long.
so that way you could have coals in the morning.
Yep.
Schools, you went through the 8th grade,
Yeah.
Yep.
and so you went to East Side School till 6th grade, and then Central for the last.
No, I went to West Side.
You went to the West Side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in that special room
Okay.
for kids that was slow,
Okay.
and then I went to West Side.
And then we went to Central.
Yeah, then we went to
Then
Central.
then to junior high school.
I never went to junior high. I went to...
I did. I never got to high school.
I did too.
How did you get your husband?
Wanda was going with him. She met him up at the swimming pool. And one Sunday night I come home from Overcomers, and I had a white dress on and black heels, and he whistled at me. And I said, "You're going with Wanda," but he said, "I want to go with you." So I snatched him.
Well, what did you think of that, Wanda?
Didn't bother me.
Plenty of boys out there for you, huh? Well, so actually, Jolene took your rejects.
Yeah.
What you grew up, let's say your hardships, because I don't really know too many families in the 60s that still lived in Isle Falls that heated their house with wood and had outside toilets.
Oh, that's the only way we can live.
Yeah, that's the way you live too now, that with all the modern conveniences. What's the one thing that now that you would hate to do without?
Bathroom.
Bathroom?
Yep.
Bathroom. Bathroom.
You just don't want to go outside anymore.
No, too cold.
When we first moved into town, we wasn't used to it.
What's that?
I said, when we first moved from where we lived out in town, we wasn't quite used to it. Because we was down there so many years, wasn't we?
Okay, you told me earlier that like you would, the kids would go skating, but you didn't have money to get in, so Dad would take you out there and you'd watch them.
Yep.
What did you feel about like that?
I figured if they can skate, let them skate. I just enjoyed getting out of the house, getting away from everybody, and just sit there and watch them.
You mean you enjoyed getting away from Linda and Wanda?
Well, Wanda, not Linda.
Well, how come she enjoyed getting away from you, Wanda?
I don't know.
Did Wanda pick on you?
Yes.
Okay, like what do you mean by that?
She'd pick on me all the time.
Oh,
Well, you stole her boyfriend.
Well, I can't help it.
Oh.
It's just much his fault as it was mine.
If there's something that you would like to do now that you've never done, is there, or redo, what would that be?
I would love to have a child.
Okay. You weren't able to have a child.
No. And that's been the hardest thing in my life.
Okay. Was not having a child.
Yeah.
Let's say if I asked, give me a little bit of advice, Jolene, what would it be?
I don't know. Just behave yourself and mind.
Oh, that's impossible.
Well, did you behave yourself in
You
mine?
better believe I did.
Wait a second. Girls, did Jolene behave herself in mine?
No.
What do you mean by that?
No.
I was one of the wildest daughters my mother ever had.
How about you, Juan? Is there something that you would like to redo or do again?
No, not really.
You're happy with the way things have gone?
Yeah.
So you're happy, let's say, with the rougher life, but full of love.
Yeah, that's right. I got a heart for anybody. I do.
Yes, yes, you do. And you've always worked hard. I want to say to your sisters before we shut the camera off, I'll give you each a chance to take a shot at.
What? Come on, I'll tell you, I love both my sisters.
Okay,
I do, Mike.
that's the main thing. How about you, Linda?
I love them with my heart.
Okay, and you, Joe?
I love Linda and Wanda and all my family.
Well, okay. Well, thank you. Okay, today we're going to talk to Marion Warner and his better-looking brother, Tom Warner. Marion, what year were you born?
1950.
And you went to school here?
Yes, I did.
And what was school like for you?
Well, I got kicked out of classes. Every class I could out of school and learning.
You got kicked out of school for doing what?
Smoking on the school ground.
Oh, you were a smoker?
Yes,
Cigarettes?
yes. And I was a drunken boy, fight.
Oh, you did?
Spent a lot of time in jail.
Oh, you did?
You know,
And how about you, Tom? How was school for you?
it's okay.
You a better student than your brother?
No,
Oh, he was a better, but he said he'd just been kicked out all the time.
I didn't get kicked out much. I quit school when I was 16 years old, Mike.
And then what did you do?
Went to work out to Chuck's Dad.
And your dad worked out to Chuck's junkyard.
Yes, sir, he sure did.
And how many years did you work out there?
What, 30 some? About 30 years.
30
You
years
were
out the
16
junkyard.
when you were
I
out
started
there.
when I was 16, Mike.
And you started working the junkyard at 16, a lot of hard work,
Yeah,
and you kept at it.
yeah.
And now at one time you guys had your own junkyard service.
Yes, sir, we sure did, Mike.
Warner Brothers Junkyard.
Auto salvage.
Warner Brothers Auto Salvage.
Yeah.
One year I wanted to split it up.
So-
Well, it wasn't me, Warner Brothers. He didn't get it done, did he, Tom?
What?
I said one of the guys worked with us. If he'd had his way, it'd have been split up, and it wouldn't have been Warner Brothers with Tom. Said absolutely not.
Marion, what was it like growing up in Iowa Falls back in the 50s and 60s?
Oh, I don't know. A lot of fun, I guess.
You had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I went swimming in the river. Got in a lot of trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Whatever I get into.
Okay. And I talked to your sister, and she said that in your house there was about how many brothers and sisters?
3 boys and
7 girls.